Clutch Sports Talk. Let's go. What's up? Happy Monday to you guys. It's me, your boy Ryan Flowers, aka Clutch Sports Talk, in the house with another live edition of Clutch Sports Talk, man. Hey, we got another jam-packed show. As usual, we have a lot to unpack from NFL Sunday. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. I got Cowboys, Redskins, Kansas City Chiefs. Lamar Jackson finally beats Mahomes. The Dolphins and their quarterback situation. Also, the Monday Night Football game I want to get to you guys so that way you guys know what's going on with that. And also my buy and sell segment. And finally, Clutch or not so much segment. So, hey, without further ado, sit back and relax and enjoy the show. This is Clutch Sports Talk Live with me, Ryan Flowers. Let's go. Welcome. Hey, happy Monday to you guys, man. We got Monday Night Football getting ready to kick off in just a second. But before we do that, man, we got Clutch Sports Talk Live with me, Ryan Flowers. And I'm saying hello from lovely Las Vegas. This is where I reside. This is my humble abode. So I figure, you know what, let me represent for the city and put the Las Vegas sign behind me. So welcome to you guys. Hope you guys are doing all right, man. But as usual, make sure you guys, if you're in the room right now, if you're watching live right now on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, make sure you drop that comment, man. Let me know what you're thinking. Appreciate you guys' support. And also, if you haven't hit me up on my social media platforms, they're scrolling right there below. Also do that as well and like and share the content. And we're just going to keep it moving. And also, please, if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Trying to keep that going, keep it growing, actually. So, but hey, we got another great show. As you guys can see, a different format tonight I want to try. You guys can see basically what I'm going to be talking about for this evening. So first things first, let's start with what happened yesterday afternoon in Inglewood as my Dallas Cowboys went into LA and defeated the Los Angeles Chargers by a score of 20-17. Man, that was a nail biter. I mean, literally, that game was, I thought it was going to be a much more higher scoring game than what it was actually, but it turned out to be a dandy. Now, some people are saying the Chargers gave the game away. They let the Cowboys win, or the referees cheated and all this nonsense. It is what it is. Now, don't get me wrong. There were some questionable calls, but hey, there were some calls that went against the Cowboys themselves. So I guess they kind of canceled each other out. But one thing I am certain is that the Dallas Cowboys defense is better than what it was last season. And you can see that in the first two games, they've at least produced 6 or 7 turnovers in the last 2 weeks. This team could easily be 2-0 if it wasn't for Greg Zuerlein missing some field goals. And oddly enough, he wins the game for the Dallas Cowboys yesterday. But hey, look, one thing also I can say too is that I was a little disappointed, but after rethinking and everything and all, they didn't score the touchdowns that they needed to, or they should have, because they were in the red zone or at least in striking distance. But it was a boring game per se, considering what we saw from the Thursday night opener with Dak Prescott throwing for 400-something yards on 58 attempts. I believe he only threw for 30-something times, if that. Pedestrian, like 258. But look, they got the job done. They ran the ball effectively. Zeke and Tony Pollard combined together, man. Tony Pollard went off. I believe he had over 100 yards rushing with, I think, on 12 or 13 attempts and 1 touchdown. Zeke did a lot of the heavy lifting. He had some solid runs. Look, here's the thing about Zeke, before going into the season, a lot of people thought Zeke was going to be back. He was going to get back to his rookie form. And I was already telling people it's not going to happen. The way this offense is going to be structured, look, we saw what Dak could do, right, in week 1 against Tampa Bay in a losing effort. And mind you, that was a tough run defense that they saw, right? They really ran away from the run. But this week you can see that Kellen Moore was very conscientious about running the rock, and he did so. But not only did he do so, he did it by committee with Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott. Now, the question that has a lot of people asking is Tony Pollard the guy in Dallas, or is Zeke Elliott still the same, is the starter? The Cowboys paid Zeke Elliott a lot of money, right? And so you figure, well, he's got the money, he's got to start. Well, look, here's the thing. I don't have a problem with Zeke starting the games. That's fine. But Tony Pollard will probably be the end up finishing these games. I mean, you can see he has more of a burst. He's a little bit more fluid when he runs. Zeke is running hard, though. I will say he's putting his head down, getting shoulder pad level, and he's running hard, which is something that we haven't seen in quite some time. So I think what the Dallas Cowboys have now in in regards to being balanced, you have two really solid running backs, which is better than most teams have. Dak Prescott can throw the ball. They have a plethora of wide receivers, especially when Michael Gallup comes back from injury. But CeeDee Lamb is starting to break out. Didn't have any drops yesterday from what I remember. And he actually looked pretty good running the ball out of the backfield. They had him like in some end arounds or even some handoffs. They tried to mix up the offense as much as possible. Now, they didn't score the touchdowns, but they didn't do they took what the defense gave them. And by all means, shout out to that offensive line. Zach Martin returns, and Terrence Steele, the right tackle, who's replacing Lyle Collins, who's going to be out for the next 4 games now due to avoiding the substance test. He stepped up, man. He went up against Joey Bosa, Joey Bosa, right? And he did not allow a sack. Joey Bosa is one of the best edge rushers we have in the National Football League, and I don't think he had any pressures either. I think mostly he did his job. Now, Terrence Steele played a lot last year because of what happened with the Cowboys offensive line with a lot of guys being hurt. So maybe he had time to develop, but I can't say much more about that. I mean, it is what it is. The line played tremendous. There were holes to run through. Dak had protection. I think he was only sacked once, if I'm not mistaken. And then on the flip side, the Dallas Cowboys defense, man, they were good. They were good. They got after Justin Herbert, which is not easy to do. Micah Parsons stepped up and played DN. He's a linebacker, but he knows how to rush the quarterback. He had 1 sack, a couple pressures, a couple tackle for losses, things of that nature. We had other guys. Trayvon Diggs came up with the pick. Javon Curse, a journeyman who's coming now on to play safety for us. He had a solid game. So overall, Dan Quinn's defense looks like they're flying around the ball. And considering DeMarcus Lawrence didn't play, Randy Gregory didn't play, we're still missing Neville Gallimore when he comes off of his dislocated elbow. I don't know, man. This defensive line might be really, really good. And then you throw Micah Parsons in there. We got a shot. Now, as far as the Chargers are concerned, I mean, look, Justin Herbert is the guy. He's the guy there. He looks phenomenal still. Had some mistakes. He had the bad pass in the red zone that turned into an interception. But look, the guy can play. There was I don't even know the stat, but how many times were they in 3rd and long last yesterday? And he got him out of it. And I'm thinking, it's 3rd and 15, 3rd and 17. Cowboys should get them off the field, and they didn't. Why? Because Justin Herbert was able to prolong the plays, get outside the pocket, and make really accurate throws. So, no shame to the LA Chargers. I mean, they are what they are. This is just a team that's riddled with, I would say, bad luck. I would say, whether it's injuries or losing close games. I mean, should they have won that game? Yeah. I mean, down the stretch, they had an opportunity to take the lead with a touchdown, but they ended up settling for a field goal. Why? Because of illegal motion, taunting, just a lot of mistakes out there. So they didn't get the job done. So this was a much needed win by the Dallas Cowboys. And as you can see there, they're celebrating after Greg Zuerlein kicks that bomb of a field goal. And that's another thing, but that's for another show. One thing that really concerns me moving forward, though, is Mike McCarthy and his clock management skills. Down the stretch there when the Cowboys were driving for that game-winning field goal, I don't know what they were thinking letting that clock run. And then I saw his response to that, and it was just it's like one of those things when your kids are trying to explain something to you, and instead of just being truthful, they go around the world trying to make this long explanation. It was bad. It was sad. So I don't know, Mike McCarthy. I just don't get it. But the Cowboys win. They're jumping for joy. They're elated. So, but hey, good game. Either way. Now, the Sunday night tilt between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens. It paired Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes again. I believe this is their 4th meeting now, if I'm not mistaken. And correct me if I'm wrong. A 3rd or 4th meeting, I forget. But Lamar Jackson has not beaten Patrick Mahomes yet since they played each other. Now, they had a good game. It was a very high scoring game. I didn't think it would be that high scoring, at least the Ravens from that standpoint. But they ended up winning the game. Patrick Mahomes, threw a very untimely pick at the end. They had another fumble by Edwards, Hilaire, whatever his name is, Edwards Hilaire, that essentially sealed the game for them. But Lamar Jackson didn't start that great either. He had 2 picks. One of them was a pick 6, but I will give him credit because I am one of those people that I still don't believe. I don't understand what the whole thing is about Lamar Jackson. I get it. He's talented. He's a great player. He was a unanimous MVP. He took over that game. I'll give him that. He took over that game. But a lot of people are like, well, I was watching Colin Cowherd and he's like, oh, people don't like different. And I'm like, look, is he different? Yes. But is he that different where he's going to change the game the way quarterbacking is? No. At the end of the day, you still have to be able to throw the football. Now, he's a playmaker of sorts. That's why he will always keep you in the game. He will always have defenses on their heels. Why? Because he is a playmaker, right? But look, here's the thing. I don't care about regular season anymore when it comes to Lamar Jackson. I don't care about that anymore for a lot of these guys. Now, Patrick Mahomes, he's good. He's got a Super Bowl. I'm good with that. I wouldn't say he solidified his legacy, but he's put himself on a certain echelon where I'm like, you know what? He can have a down year or game here or there. He's won multiple playoff games. He's won a Super Bowl. He's gotten back to a Super Bowl, and they might even get back this year. Who knows? But Lamar Jackson still has to do more to me because, look, we're gonna know about him when it comes playoff time. Now, he's gotten better at throwing the football, but primarily they want to use him as a runner, and that's what he's best suited for. I get it. He reminds me a lot of Michael Vick. Michael Vick was very fun to watch, very electrifying. Arguably was one of the best players, not quarterbacks, but best players in the National Football League for a time frame. But look what ended up happening to him. He didn't get a lot of playoff wins, never played for any meaningful championship, right? May have won a division here or there. He was just electric. And I think some people overlook that Lamar Jackson might fall into this category at some point in time. Because look, at the end of the day, if you're a quarterback, you got to throw. You got to throw. And he's not going to be Tom Brady. I'm not expecting him to be Tom Brady, right? He's way more athletic. He's mobile. He's not Tom Brady. Tom Brady is Tom Brady, right? But Tom Brady knows to win those big games. This was a big game for the Ravens last night, not so much for the Chiefs. And you can tell, but like I said about Lamar Jackson, look, it's not I'm hating on the man. He does deserve some criticism, but I'll be the first to give him some praise. That was a great win for them because he could have easily tanked the game last night after throwing those picks, especially the pick six. And, they came back from being down double digits, and they did a tremendous job. But I think down the stretch, the Chiefs kind of gave away the game too. They were driving basically to ice this game, to finish the game. Patrick Mahomes is moving the ball, but then they hand the ball off to, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, which I don't know. I figure, they felt good with their kicker. They felt good they're in the position they were in. But look, I'm on the premise that you give your best players the ball, and then at that time it's Patrick Mahomes, right? And you saw what the Ravens did when it was crunch time on that fourth and one to seal the game. They didn't hand the ball off to Latavius Murray or any other back. They gave it to Lamar Jackson. That's what you got to do. Football is simple, man. It's about three rules that I have that I really try to abide by when watching football and even coaching football. Number one, can you protect your quarterback? Number two, can you get after the quarterback? And number three, how do you get the ball to your best playmakers? That's football in general, man. I mean, really. Now there's some stuff that goes on in between there, the X's and O's. But if you keep it that simple, that's what it's about. And that's what the Ravens are about. They're like, look, we don't have any running backs. Lamar Jackson's our best running back. We're going to give him the ball. But like I said, last night was a good win for them. They came back against the defending AFC champs. But look, he's going to have to do it come January, February. That's when I'll be back on here saying, you know what? He did what he need to do. He's in the Super Bowl. And then if he makes the Super Bowl, I'll give him credit. But winning week 2 games early September, mid-September, yeah, you finally get the win against Mahomes, but they play each other enough. He's bound to get a win. Even Peyton Manning beat Tom Brady a couple times in their career when they went head up. So, but a good win for the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson was definitely the star last night, and he showed up and showed out, right? Sticking with quarterbacks, the Miami Dolphins, what the hell happened to them? They got blown out 35-0 to the Buffalo Bills in a game in which I thought they had the edge. They're at home. I don't know if you've ever been to South Florida in September. It's warm, it's muggy, it's humid, and it's hot. It's the reason why the Miami Dolphins designated their home jerseys as the white. That way, when games like this come around, they can wear the white jerseys and put, the other teams in the darker jerseys. But it didn't matter because the Buffalo Bills, coming off a pretty tough loss there, they just got destroyed. Now, besides the game, what's gonna happen with Tua and the Dolphins. Now, Tua, from what I heard, is broken ribs, so he's going to be out quite some time. Jacoby Brissett will step in, right? But I mean, really, he's not the answer there, right? The Dolphins made a terrible mistake, a detrimental mistake to their organization by not taking a quarterback in this year's in this last draft. They ended up taking Jalen Waddle. Okay, they felt I don't know how they felt good with Tua, mind you. They benched the guy for Ryan Fitzpatrick several times last season, and then you still didn't go out and get another quarterback. So now he's going to be hurt, and I don't even think he's the guy when he comes back, to be honest with you, because he wasn't doing much yesterday. At least Jacoby Brissett was trying to move them down the field. He couldn't get the job done because they still didn't score. Mind you, with some mistakes by the receivers and whatnot. But look, Tua, man, watching these other quarterbacks around the league, especially the last 2 weekends, he just doesn't have it, man. And I might be wrong, and I was wrong the first time when I made a video about him. I thought he had some promise, but the more and more I watch him, he's small, doesn't have a great arm, really isn't that athletic, and just the game just looks too fast for him. It just looks way too fast. He looks lost out there. And now the Dolphins are in a situation where, well, what do we do? I think they should be in the market for Deshaun Watson. They need to go out and do what they need to do to get this dude. Now, people are like, well, he's going to be suspended. Well, he isn't right now because he's a healthy scratch for the Houston Texans. Even still, Tyrod Taylor goes down. They're still not activating this dude. So obviously they must know something that we don't know. But here's the thing. Tua is not your guy. Jacoby Brissett isn't your guy. But at least if you get Deshaun Watson, you trade whatever King's ransom that the Texans are asking for, you do it. Because, okay, you let him sit out this year, whatever. One thing, if you don't understand the National Football League, the window to win is very small. You have to take advantage of these windows. And right now, the Dolphins, to me, they've regressed, man. Like, their defense did not look good yesterday. Their offense really was sputtering because why? They don't have an efficient quarterback back there. A guy that's going to take the top off the defense, a guy that defenses are scared of. No one's scared of Tua. And for sure, no one's scared of Jacoby Brissett. That's the fact. Doesn't mean Tua can't play in the National Football League maybe as a backup, but he's not a starting quarterback in the National Football League. I'm sorry to tell you that. He's just not. So, I don't know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think in the comment sections, man. Am I crazy? Should the Dolphins just give up 3 first rounds and say, you know what? To hell with it. Bring Deshaun Watson here because we'll eat the suspension even if he's out. We got the Lions and Green Bay Packers game just kicked off. Lions, a big play. It looks like they're already in red zone. They're working now. Hopefully the Green Bay Packers could do something. Which I might as well talk about that here as we move along. So here's the Monday night game. Just started. Looks like the Lions are out for blood right now. The Packers not playing well last week. They have a lot to prove. 38-0 last week or 38-3. Didn't score a touchdown. The Lions had some fight in them last week Sunday against the Niners. But here's the thing. This is going to tell us a lot about the Green Bay Packers tonight. How will they react? How is Aaron Rodgers going to be? Does he really care, or is he just kind of tanking because he's really done, which I think he is done, or he just is like, if I tank now, they'll bench me. I can get up out of here. They can have Jordan Love if they want to, and that's what's going to happen. But here's the early line on this game. Obviously, the Packers are favored by 10.5. The total over under is 48. I don't think the Packers will cover in this game. It's still early. 10.5 is a lot for a team for the Packers I don't think they're really that. They're not gelling right now. And right now 2nd and 1. The Lions are already in red zone position. So who knows? The Packers should win this game, but I don't think they'll cover. But anyway, I'm going to move on from that. So, all right, next segment is my buy or sell. Buy or sell for week 2, the NFLs. These are going to be teams, players, et cetera, on some stock that you may want to buy in or some stock you may want to sell. And at the top of the list, I got to go with the Miami Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa. You got to sell. They can still try to resurrect this thing. Obviously, it's one bad loss, but they need to figure out their quarterback situation. So right now, I'm going to sell some shares on the Miami Dolphins until they figure out what they're doing with their quarterback position, because Tua is not the guy. And he may prove me wrong in the end, but right now I'm just not feeling it right now. So I'd have to sell on the Miami Dolphins. But I'm buying on the Carolina Panthers. That defense looks legit. The pass rush is good. Sam Darnold is fitting in nicely in Carolina with Joe Brady calling the offense. Matt Rule is doing a good job of coddling, not coddling, but handling Sam Darnold. He has weapons to throw to. We can see that. I believe he's completing over 60% of his passes. That's good. That's really good. So I'm buying into the Carolina Panthers. We'll see when they run into the Tampa Bay Buccaneers down the road here what's going to happen. But for early season buy or sell, I am buying some stock right now. I'm getting a couple shares on the Carolina Panthers. Ben Roethlisberger, I am selling along with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They let me down yesterday. They were one of my clutch picks of the week at -6. Not only did they not cover, they didn't even win. Detroit Lions just scored a touchdown. Jared Goff threw it in there. But look, here's the thing with Ben Roethlisberger. He got old quick, right? And we knew that he wasn't in his best of shape. He's not a guy that's been known for his physique or his workout ethic. He looks old, man. He can't even push the ball down the field. And not only can he do that, their offensive line problems are just terrible. They can't run the football. He can't hold on to the ball like he used to. He's just it's time, man. I honestly, man, the Steelers really screwed themselves up by not taking the quarterback position serious. Why? Because Ben Roethlisberger would cry and complain if they decided they were going to take, meaningful quarterbacks in the draft or even in free agency. I still thought Cam Newton should have went to Pittsburgh. He probably would have been a better fit, but honestly, it stems with their offensive line. They got problems. I'm selling everything that I got on the Pittsburgh Steelers because look, even though they went 11-0 last year to begin the season, a lot of those games, man, were they just got some breaks. They're not a good football team. And TJ Watt is going to be out for quite some time with a growing injury. That pass rush is going to hurt. Melvin Ingram came over from the Chargers. He really didn't get a good job. I'm not sure what's going on with the other guy they got, I think Devin Bush. Another pass rusher, he was hurt. He didn't play yesterday. So I am definitely selling some stock on Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers, man. And again, I don't like the Raiders. I'm showing them a lot of love the last couple of weeks. I am buying some stock in the Las Vegas Raiders. That was a good win for them. Now, I'm not saying that the Steelers are a great team, but that's a good win, especially coming off of an emotional high Monday night game against the Baltimore Ravens, your home opener. It was a back and forth game. And also I'm buying stock on Derek Carr. He's arguably playing out of his mind right now. I mean, I think he's thrown for over 800 yards or close to that in the first 2 weeks of the season. Early MVPs, he should be in the top 5 right now for consideration. I know it's early, but Derek Carr, look, for those who don't know Derek Carr, he's very humble. He believes. He has good conviction. If you ever listen to some of his interviews, he believes in some of the stuff that he's saying. I like him personally. I think he's a good quarterback. He's got weapons. Henry Ruggs came on big finally, a guy that they took 2 years ago or a year ago in the draft. He was the first wide receiver to come off the board. Didn't have a great year last year, but if he can stay healthy and engaged in the offense, that's a guy when he lines up out wide, you know he can take the top off the defense, and that's what he does. So, the Raiders, I'm buying stock. They got the Dolphins coming up this Sunday. So good luck to the Dolphins because the Raiders are playing good. And the defense, you know what? They didn't play they're still, I'm still concerned about their defense, but I think they can get enough stops that their offense can help them out. And that's what happened yesterday. They still gave up some points to a team that's offensively inept, but they still got the win, and that's good for them. So, all right. So, yeah, I'm buying stock on the Las Vegas Raiders. Yep. So that's my buy or sell for week 2, man. Before I get out here, we're going to close out the show with the clutch or not so much segment, man. Hope you guys enjoy that. Hey, and also, if you see something over the weekend, you want to let me know if it's clutch or not so much, man, make sure you hit me up on my Instagram and send me a message and let me know, man. Hey, I don't know if you saw this might be clutch worthy or not so much worthy. So let me know. But first off the bat, I got to go clutch. Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens coming from behind double digits to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. And then to have the balls to go for it on 4th and 1 on your side of the 50-yard line, that takes guts. So that's a clutch moment for the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson. Not so much the Seattle Seahawks. That game, they pretty much dominated that game until probably the mid-third, middle of the third, end of the third, early into the fourth quarter where Derrick Henry just went off. I don't know what happened, man. Like they were looking good. Russell Wilson was cooking. Tyler Lockett was doing his thing. But for some reason, they just blew that lead. They ended up losing, 33 to 30 to the Tennessee Titans. So not so much for them this week. So, if I have to put the Seahawks on the not so much, I got to put my guy Derrick Henry at clutch. This guy, in my morning show yesterday, I said that he probably wasn't going to rush for a lot of yards. Was I wrong? But I will say prior to them kind of taking over that game, he only had like 60-something yards until he went off. And then I think he finished with like over $150 or some crazy number right there. So clutch moment for him, man. This guy, he's not going to juke you, right? But he is sure fun to watch when he runs over people because he's a big dude. And honestly, if I'm paying cornerback and I see him rolling around, I'm probably going to make a business decision. I'm not trying to be on no one's highlight reel getting stiff arm like a child. So clutch for Derrick Henry and the Tennessee Titans. And finally tonight, not so much, Carson Wentz. It's reported that he has 2 injured ankles. Now, here's the thing with him. Now, the Indianapolis Colts line has definitely regressed. They cannot block for this man to save their life, right? But this guy also plays reckless. I've seen him go out there, hold on to the ball, knowing you don't have the best pass protection, putting your body in these very precarious situations, allowing yourself to get hurt. You made out of glass, bro. Throw the ball away, live for the next down. And also for me, I don't know how bad the ankle injuries were. I think on that last drive, man, he needed to gut it out. He had to. You're on a new team. There's guys in that locker room who probably rolled their eyes when the Colts signed him, and they're like, all right, this guy's made of glass, so here he is. This was your opportunity even in a losing effort, this was your opportunity, Carson, to maybe gain some confidence in your teammates. But you don't even bother going out. And like I said, I don't know the severity of the ankle injuries, so he might be day-to-day. Jacob Eason is probably going to get a start probably next week because Carson Wentz is going to miss time, which is something that we just become accustomed to saying in regards to him. And now the Colts, I believe they signed him for 2 years. They might be willing to move on this guy in 1 year. So I just don't think it's going to work out unless they figure out their offensive line issues. There's no doubt that he has talent. He's big, he's strong, he can throw the ball, he's athletic. But I don't know, man. I don't know if he sees the game like some of the greats do. And again, he plays reckless. That's why he's always getting hurt. He's doing things that he probably shouldn't be doing. Instead of running out of bounds, he's trying to truck linebackers. Instead of throwing away the ball, he's standing way too long in the pocket and getting his legs all jacked up. And that's how he ended up hurting his ankle. I remember the play when he got hurt. But again, that was your time to get back on the field, grow some balls, get out there, try to lead your team to the win. And even if you lose, at least you gain the respect of some of your teammates, because I think that there's a lot of guys in the Colts locker room that it's like, we're good. We're pretty good on him. So, all right, that's what I got. That's my show for the evening. So, hey, appreciate you guys for tuning in. For those of you that were in here, make sure if you're watching this on a replay, man, make sure you guys like, follow, and share this content. I appreciate you guys. We still got the Monday night game going on. Lions are up 7-0. I don't know about Green Bay, man. They better get their act together, because if not, it's going to go downhill quickly, very quickly. So, hey, make sure you guys catch my Sunday morning show, NFL Sunday Morning, which airs live at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Yeah, it's early for you West Coasters, but it's decent time for you guys on the East Coast. And make sure you guys watch NFL Primetime with me after the afternoon games on Sunday. So you guys get your Clutch Sports Talk feel wherever you can. And also make sure you hit up my YouTube page, man. Watch those videos. Make sure you subscribe as well. But that's all I got. So until next week, Monday, when the Clutch Sports Talk Live returns, you guys know what it is. This is Clutch Sports Talk Live with me, Ryan Flowers. Never settle till the work is done. Peace out.